Okay, okay. So should I go? So there are two things we can do about. So let me just write it also as we are discussing. All right. So Sarju is saying the sentiment project. So what do you want with respect to sentiment project? You want to do along, and in case you get stuck, you want to assistance. I mean, how do you? What exactly? So do you want me to describe again? All right, that will be good. That will be good. In case you get stuck, do along. In case you get stuck, just show me your screen. I'll make you the presenter. Show me your screen and I'll be able to help you out. Sounds good? All right. The only downside of this approach is that since we all will be doing it together on the cluster, so cluster might get swamped. Okay. So yeah, but we are for five people only. Hi Anand, Santana, can you hear me? All right, all right, all right. So do you have any? So today I don't have an agenda, Anand. The idea is that we'll keep it open-ended general discussion. Okay, QA session. So Sarju's question and suggestion was that we go along the sentiment project and do it stepwise. Just give me a second. It's too much of a thunderstorm here. I'll close the door. Yeah, it's kind of raining. So Anand, Fang, Sergio, and Santana. So today we don't have an agenda per se. It's an open-ended question answer session. So if you have something in mind that you want to ask or discuss, or if you have an agenda, please go forward and share. We have complete 2.5 hours. So not 2.5 hours, 3 hours actually, and we can discuss in detail whatever you have planned. So Sarju's suggestion was that we go along with the sentiment project. Okay. If you have any other idea, okay. Fang, do you have any agenda which you can? Oh, okay, Fang. All right. So Fang, just a quick update. We have covered the whole 11 sessions till last week. And for today, we the session number 11, we I have kept it for the discussion, general discussion. Okay. So, or what do we want to do here is maybe we can do a hands-on exercise on almost all the topics one at a time. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. So other suggestion is quickly go over all session, that will be actually too tricky. That'll be too tricky. Okay. All right. So let's start with what Sarju has suggested, that we go along with sentiment project and step by we cover it. All right. So yeah, let me just go to the session. Can you see my screen? And no big data. Under my courses, you will see. All right. Okay. Other suggestion is the interview questions. All right. Now we have. So we have sentiment analysis problem. So we are going along with the sentiment analysis. The objective, the the objective of sentiment analysis is to find out whether people are talking good or bad about a product over a period of time. So a detailed discussion, you will like this one. I like this particular link. Okay. So on this link, they talk about multiple things in sentiment analysis. Yeah, you can hear. All right. In sentiment analysis, you generally see that whether what people are talking about you, whether it is positive or negative. Now, let's just take the most simplest case, which is Twitter, where the data is available to you. Now, sentiment analysis uh, revolves around the problem of finding whether a sentence is positive or negative with respect to you. Okay. So all of these different approaches, they all differ in terms of uh, how does it figure out whether a sentence is negative or positive. All right. So it starts with simple one, the one which we are going to do. It's a most simple one. Then it gets into more data sciences, machine learning, and deep learning side. So a quick glossary of terms is, under data sciences you use the normal machine learning. And in the machine learning, when I say that you can solve this problem of sentiment analysis, you basically apply the algorithms provided by, where, like for example, there is an algorithm called regression, or there is an algorithm called SVC, and you apply those algorithms to generate negative or positive meaning of a sentence. Okay. Then there is another approach called natural language processing, where it tries to understand the language the way we try to interpret a language. Okay. But we will be only focusing mostly about the very simplistic way. Okay. Here, right now, the approach is quite simple. We sum up the we basically count the negative positive words and subtract the positive negative words from the positive words, and that's all right. So this is just my approach. You can deviate if you want to from this approach in these 7 fashions. All right. Now, from the beginning, let's just log into. It will be great if you guys also try to do the same thing. Okay. We are on only 4 or 5 people, so I believe that cluster will be okay with it. So if you log in into Hue and let me copy the URL, yeah. So those who don't know the password is listed here again. Okay. Anand was able to reach up to Excel import. Great, great. So your tables were generated, everything worked fine. Okay, okay, great. All right. Now, so are you all with me? Are you able to log in into Hue? All right. Then let's locate the data. Those who are not on the document, I'm giving you the link to the document. You can open that. All right. Now let's go to here. And the data has already been uploaded here. So you can see the data. This is Hive queries, and this is my data. All right. So in this twitters dot underscore raw, if you just open any of the file, so it's essentially a JSON data, which is in gzip format. It's just that um, Hue is unzipping it and showing it to us. All right. Now you can see the various fields over here. Next is that once we have located the data, open the query hive dll.sql, which is under Hive folder. Upload, under upload, go to Hive, and there will be hive dll.sql. Yeah, are you with me? So basically, what we are trying to do is using Hive, we will be loading our data which is located in Hadoop distributed file system. All right. So for that, let me. So I would. How would you like to do it? I think you will be more comfortable if you open Hive here. Let's open Hive. I think a better thing would be the terminal. Okay, because I don't know how would it react. So, all right. Now, on one hand, we have just opened our query window. Okay. Next is let's log into the SSH. Okay. Is the font visible to you? So I'm logging in. You can use putty if you have R on Windows to logging onto the server. Yeah. From here, just have you created your own folder? Okay. So copy JSON Survey into the same folder, into your own folder. JSON. So yeah, let me just copy it from sentiment. Where was that? Yeah, in this folder it is available locally. Okay, or you can do this command Hadoop fs, and then you say copy to local, and in the browser you can see that the folder structure which we talked about is this. So under here we have upload, and then we have data. No, not data. Under Hive. So this is the file which we are trying to download. Okay. So you can say Hadoop fs copy to local from this file, from slash this JSON star, and you say dot dot slash. Okay. It will bring that file from the remote to local. Okay. Now there should be a JSON file. Yeah, here it is. You can see that. So everybody is able to download that file. Okay. Can use this command to download that. So basically what is this? This is essentially a serializer deserializer which converts data from JSON into a relational kind of a view, which it makes the data it makes the data viewable in the form of tables. All right. If you want to read JSON data in Hive, you have to use this kind of a serializer deserializer. All right. So now everybody has this. Now let's launch Hive. I'm not sure if same user is opening multiple sessions, what happens. All right. So Sarju, are you with me till here? Now I say add jar, and then not this. So I say add jar and the name of this one. This one. It says added this particular jar into to the class path. Good. That is the first command in this. Add jar this. Perfect. Did it give you any error? All right. Now next is let's create an external table using the next command. You copy paste from the that command itself. Now let's do a, okay. So this created a view, and to test whether this view has something or not, you do select star from this view, limit maybe 5, okay, and just to see 5 records out of it. Did it work for you? Yeah, please create your own database. I'm very, very sorry. I forgot to say that it should have been a separate database. You say create database. I say asgiri, and asgiri already exists. So I say use asgiri, and then I say create table again, create external table. So I'm just creating an external table. So select star from this and limit 5. Good. All right. I'll wait here till all of you say that you are able to execute this and you got 5. And make sure to use your own database. Okay. How do you show databases? Okay. It works for Fang then. Okay. Works for Santana and Fang. So, Fang and Santana, did you create your own database by using a command create database and then say use the database you just created? Great. Okay, I'll wait till all of you confirm. Sarju, are you stuck? I need any help? No. So yeah, table created is okay. All I'm saying is do this command. Select star from tweets underscore raw and limit 5 and semicolon. Perfect. All right, for everyone. Anand, are you also trying? Or it has already worked for you? Great. So moving ahead, assuming it worked for everybody. Mm, Now next is, before you move forward, have a look at what we just did. We said create an external table called tweets underscore raw, and these are the various columns we created. Retweeted status is a struct. These things are struct wherever you have a complex object. Next is the user object, which is also complex. Next is, here we are saying the row format is in the form of JSON survey. Okay, why we have just provided row format? Because if you look at what is there here under the data tweets, and there we are also saying that location of the file is here, right? So this class which we are saying that this is our JSON survey is the one which is being loaded from the jar, and Here we are saying row format Saturday, which means uh, if you look at the data, this is each row is separated by new line, and each line contains the data in this format. All right. And if you see, the user itself is a complex object, which means if you go into the detail, a better way would be that you take any JSON data and you say JSON formatter, right? And just copy paste the data and say process. It generally formats the data in a better way. You can see the data. So it has formatted the data really nicely, starting from filter label, contributors, then there is URLs, entities is a complex object as we talked about, and user is another complex object as you can see, right? So this is our JSON data, and in the similar manner we have created the tables also. Okay, just that we have skipped some fields. We have just picked up the few fields from the beginning, and that's it, right? So you can see under users what we have taken. We have only taken screen name, friend count, follower count, status count, and verified, right? Uh, okay, so verified. Oh, we have just picked up few fields from it. Rest we have ignored. All right. So this basically you should be able to see that we utilized our struct and we utilized our retweeted status to load the data. Next is we create another table that represents the dictionary. Okay, what is a dictionary? Dictionary is here. I'll show you. Here, dictionary is this one. It's a tab separated format, and here for each word, say abandoned, we have it's a weak subject and it's negative, and no also represents the polarity. One represents polarity and one represents polarity and one represents the sentiment. Okay, let's have a look at our query. We are saying first one is type, what kind of word it is. One, the length. Okay, the length as in one word. Had it been two words, that okay. So yeah, let me have a look at, does it have any two? No, it doesn't have any two per se. Yeah. So okay. Next in this field is the word itself. Then is positive or not. So no, this is something else, I think. So we'll not talk this. Stamped as in whether you have added ed or not. Okay, so this is actually stamped. So yeah. So abasement seems to be a base and abasement. So it's a derivative. So that is why we call it yes. Similarly, abdicate. Abdicate. How come that is a stemmed word? Aberration. I don't know. So stamped generally means that it's a derivative of the base one. Okay. All right. It is the other way. I think it's the other way. All right, never mind. So we are not going to use the stamped anyway. So here it is okay. Abandon, abandonment, abandon. Okay, this is a base word. A base is base word. This one is a derivative. Now this is also base. This should be, no, I think there's something else here. Now last one is the polarity. Polarity is something we are going to focus on. Okay, polarity is something going to focus on, and again here we don't need any serializer deserializer, so let's create the dictionary. All right, so now dictionary must be created. You can see dictionary, select star from dictionary, limit 5. So this is what it is. So we are basically loading this dictionary, and this dictionary is available. It's a general dictionary of words which people maintain. Okay. So it's a dictionary of the sentiment of each word in the dictionary. Makes sense, Anand? All right. So everybody able to load dictionary? I'm assuming if the earlier steps, yes. So it depends on what type of sentiments we are doing. Yes. Right now we are trying to use the strategy of just dictionary based strategy. There could be hundreds of other ways of doing sentiment analysis. Okay. And since the data is big, the uh, if the approach is simply statistical, it should work fine. All right. Now let's load this time zone, and here we go. Select star from this limit 5. All right. Time zone map is loaded now. Time zone map. Why do we need time zone map? Because we want to convert the time. We want to find out the country of each tweet. Okay, as you saw that here we have date, and we have the time zone somewhere. Should be time zone here. And let me also see. Yeah, we have time zone here. We want to convert that to a country. Okay, for that we are trying to use the time zone map, right? So now we should be able to see that time zone loaded. Fine. Next is that now we are trying to create a view on top of our existing query. What does this view do? We are basically extracting the timestamp clearly by concatenating various columns. And here we are putting just 2013 here, but we can also concatenate the other 2014 or other year. Okay. So you can say things like, all right. So that should give you the, yeah. So what exactly are we trying to do here? We are converting the date provided over there into this format. Okay. And a better idea would be to take the year from here. Okay. So we can see tweets raw, select star from tweets raw, limit 1. So here we have time zone as null. And what is it that we are trying to do? Okay, so we have got this data till here. Okay, this is okay. Yeah, this is our, yeah. So here the first one is the ID. Hmm. Till here is the date. Yeah. Till here is the date. This is the created date. Right. That's correct, Anand. All right. And for some, there will be no time zone at all, so no worries. Now here we are doing some sort of, we are slicing the created at from 5th to 15, and then just picking the month, date, year from that, and appending to 2013 into it, and then converting into Unix timestamp using this function. And then we are converting it to timestamp, normal timestamp, and that's all right. So yeah. So if you have a look, what is it that looks like? Right? Now, since the joining has started, so the map reduce will start now. So it'll become a little difficult to run it. Yeah, it will take a lot of time. Yeah, for me also it'll take. It does take a lot of time. All right. I'm assuming that there would not be much of. All right. In the meantime, we can discuss the further one. In tweets clean, what is it that we are trying to do? We are trying to figure out the country by joining the time zone with this, and we are trying to join on the time zone and picking up the country from there. Okay. So basically, at the end of it, we'll have ID, timestamp, text, and then country. Why that view is given as. So basically, it's a syntax of creating a view. We say create view this as this query. So every time you do select star from tweets clean, this query is going to get executed. Sounds good? All right. I hope this would take little more time only. All right. Now we have got these three values now. Next is that we break the sentence into words. So how do you break a sentence into word? By saying explode. Okay. So there is a function called sentences. Okay. So what does hive sentence do? Hive sentence basically extract if there are multiple sentences, then then it will give out the separate sentences. Basically, it tries to separate by dot. It's very, very straightforward. So yeah. Tokenize the string of natural language text into the words and sentences, where each sentence is broken into appropriate boundary and returned as array of words. Okay. So basically, yeah. So it does both the things for you. It breaks down the sentence into words and further. And after that, it explodes. What does it mean by exploding? Explode basically converts one record into multiple records, one for each word. All right. Just like we had in pig, we had something called I forgot the name. Opposite of the group by. So explode basically converts one sentence into one array of the words into something. So let's say we say sentences, and then we say this is a text. Okay. Wow, this also is going to go through MapReduce. Right, so that had finished earlier one, and it did not give a result other than this one. Yeah, so it has broken it down into this. You can see that. And next is you can say explode, explode, and something of this sort. Right? So it has broken it down. What is the difference between the previous one? Yeah. So per sentence, it has broken it down into this. All right. Earlier it was two arrays, and this one basically brought it out. All right. Now what we are trying to do here is did we do this? Yeah, tweets clean we have done already. All right. Now let's take this. What we are trying to do, select L1 as this is the view we are trying to create. This is the view we are trying to, let me just make it a little more cleaner. Here, select view as this, and what does this do? From tweets. Okay. All right. So nobody's stuck anywhere. Okay, so basically it will further create L1 out of after exploding the words. Here it breaks down per sentence wise, and then next explode will convert it into maybe in the previous one which we were trying, yeah, this one, if we say explode twice, it should work fine. Oh, oh, we have to basically use the explode twice. So this is, so basically what is happening is we took the words from tweets raw, passed it through explode, first converted, figured out the words and sentences from it. So after that we exploded, and again we exploded it so that there is one word per line. Okay. Now, if we try to do select now, it will take a lot of time. Now you can see that in our L2, L2, we have basically words from tweets raw, and at the same time we are joining it against dictionary because now L2 contains one word per line, one word per row, so we can join it with dictionary. Okay, and it's a left outer join, which means that if the word does not exist in the dictionary, then do not ignore it. Okay, just give it a 0 as the polarity. All right, so here you can see clearly. So what is our L3? L3 is after joining L2. L2 is, you can think about L2 as something of this form. I'll show you. I think I should just take it. Select star from L2, limit 2. Okay, so it would be of the form of ID and then word. Okay, ID, tweet ID basically, and then word too. Okay, it'll be of this form. So L2 will be of that form. So you can see ID and words, ID and word. All right, now we are joining that ID and word, as in we have broken down each tweet into multiple rows. Each row is ID and word, one word of the tweet. And then we are joining it against dictionary. And while joining against the dictionary, what we are trying to do is, in case the polarity, dictionary's polarity is negative, we assign it -1, that word. In case that word's polarity in the dictionary is positive, then we assign it +1. Otherwise, we assign 0 as its polarity. Okay. Now here we go. It is going to take a lot of time. Next is, after we have basically figured out ID, word and its polarity, ID as in tweet ID, uh, each word of tweet, one word at a time in a single row. And next is that we create a sentiment table. How do we do that? By grouping by ID. So we are again taking, grouping all the words for the tweet together, but we, we are not concatenating word. Instead, we are just summing up the polarity of all the words in this table. Okay. So this is how it is. So what we did was we grouped by ID. Each tweet has got a unique ID. All right. And then we group by ID and say they sum it up. Okay. And again, instead of doing simply sum, we are saying sum up, and then in case the value is greater than 0, mark it positive. If less than 0, then mark it negative. Okay. Otherwise, mark it neutral. Ideally, we shouldn't have done this. We should have just said sum polarity, and that's all. Okay. Well, during presentation itself, we could have just said that use positive or negative. Okay. All right. Once we are done with tweet sentiment, we are again joining with our basic table. We are saying tweets clean joined with our tweet sentiment and on tweets ID, of course. So all the columns from tweets we are picking up, and here again we are saying in case of sentiment is positive, then give it to neutral 1, negative 0, and so on. Okay. Although it's not much required, but let's do it that way. Okay. You can do it multiple ways here. Here, this particular fragment, you can break it down. So you can change this approach a little bit. You can change this approach a little bit. Say for example here, if I'm in your position, then the first variation I would make is this. I will say, in case polarity is negative, I'll give it 1, positive 2, and 0 in case it's neutral. Next, I would do is, next in this one, what will I do is this. I'll say, sum of polarity is greater than 0. I'll say sum of polarity percentage 2 equals 0, percentage 2 not equal not equals 0, then negative. All right. So I'm just keeping there is no place for neutral now. Or you can just say here, you can just say else negative. Okay. Now the only problem with my approach is, so yeah, you can actually say, right? So this is one change in the approach you can bring in. Okay. But it's absolutely up to you whether you want to go for that or not. What is it? What is the difference I'm bringing in? Did you get it? I'm trying to, this approach, what we just did, okay, it has a wrong thing in it. In our current approach, the approach in this one, there is a mistake, as in, if somebody is using two negatives, so this is not bad. Okay, so our dictionary will say this is 0 plus 0 plus -1 plus -1, and it will lead to -2 in this current approach. Okay, this is what we are trying to do. We are just saying sum up, and then since it's less than 0, we'll say it's negative. That's all. Okay, right, in this current this approach. So I'm trying to make this change so that in case there are two negatives, then it wouldn't make much of a difference to you. All right. So this is one minor change in the approach which you can try it out. But after we have done this, so that's all. We are done. We have now this table called tweets SBI, tweets BI, and now you can start using this tweets BI to display the data in your Excel sheet. All right. So once you're done with this, you install this Excel driver, which is okay. You can install this Excel driver. So did I finish my part? Show use as Giri and show tables. Tweets clean L1, L2, not L3. Yeah, it's only up to L2. So we'll just finish it here till here, and that's all. So tweets underscore sentiment is still running for you, as in, hmm but ideally it is not supposed to run. Oh, right, right, right. So here it is a basically it is create table stored as ORC as this. Okay, okay, okay. So we can actually convert this one also as a view. This is a table here, right? So that once it gets computed, it'll get stored some there. And then while joining, we'll not have too much of load. We'll only be joining this and this. Okay. So what we can do a little bit of a change is as and when we want the data to be presented, or maybe we can here, yeah, this table will also be created and all the data will be there, your data. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can convert this into a view while we can leave it as a table. Now, in case you are doing it on live, right? Live as in every time the chart runs and it updates with the new data, then you might have to convert this into a view. All right. So everybody is till here, or everybody is waiting for their job to finish. All right. So I think it would be better if we take a break now. Let you, you try to run it here, and then we come back in 10 minutes. Okay. Let's come back in 15 minutes, which is around 9:50. 9:58. 9:48. All right. All right. Hello. Wow. So looks like, let me just have a look. So looks like the data nodes got overloaded and the hosting provider has killed them. So this is down. Secondary name node is okay. And where does this file available? So you can, for those who are not aware about this, what you can do is, the file which we are operating upon, where is that file located? All right. Can you launch it again? It should work now. So yeah. So what's happening is the data node is taking little more space memory, because of which the hosting provider just kills them, kills the process, and that is why the nodes go down sometime. All right. Though we have done a fine tuning with respect to memory on Hadoop 3, still it goes beyond that memory sometimes. We need to figure that out actually. Ideally, this should not happen at all. Okay, so where is our Ambari? And here, this file particularly, we can say HDFS, HDFS FSCK, number of replicas. Okay, or we can, what we can do is we can do set replication. We can say Hadoop set replication, Hadoop FS set replication as 4. That means it will be on all the nodes. Yeah. It has set the replication factor to 4. Oh, sorry, this is not something which we wanted. What I wanted is actually not the query, but all the three files. Upload data, and where is our data? In all these three, right? Okay. So for all the data, I have increased the replication factor to 4. Now we'll have 4 copies so that it won't have a problem of in case some nodes shut down. Okay. Okay. So you can use this one, Hadoop FS minus this, to do the replication. Also, the other command which I was showing you, where I was trying to observe. So using hdfs command, hdfs fsck, you can observe what's going on with the file. All right. So you can hdfs minus help. It shows you a lot of details about it. Okay. And here, all right, you can see that. So fsck tells you a lot of details. In case you want to see the blocks, locations, files, you can say that. All right. So you can say HDFS, then you can say FSCK, then you can say files, then you can say blocks, and then location. So it will tell you exactly which block is in which location and what is the file name. Okay. So you can see this. So it says that, okay. Yeah. So you can say minus files. All right. So it will show you the exact location of the data, the file name as well. So this is the block name. You can go into that particular machine and check that along with locations. Okay. So it shows you that this particular file is located at multiple locations. It shows you all of that. Now, since it has only one block, so it is only in one file, and that too on only here. Not here. Sorry. Here is the actual detail. You can see from here. So these are the nodes containing the copy of that data. These are the other nodes. So you can see that. All right. So everybody, did it work for all of us, or still somebody's command is left? All right. Now using this file, whatever we have generated just now, using this file, we can start to present it in whatever format we want. All right. So if you are into BERT, if you are into business intelligence reporting, you can basically use the JDBC driver to Hive and then query directly from your BERT tool. Or a simpler mechanism would be that if your data is smaller, the data generated is smaller, copy using scoop into MySQL or somewhere the reporting is done, and that's all right. So the next step from here would be that we have generated this table. Next step would be that you install the driver, Hortonworks driver, into Excel. That is one way of presentation. You can install it. You can basically present it using BERT or any other system which can handle JDBC driver, and then you can continue to use it. All right. So you can install the driver, and most of the problem with respect to driver occur when you have a 60 different architecture. So if you have a 32-bit Windows running, just go to my computer, right click and go to properties and check whether you are running 32-bit or 64-bit, and based on that particular driver you should download only. Okay. So once you have downloaded the driver, you can install everything step by step, follow this guide, and when it asks for the connecting to the server, you give these settings. Okay. All right. So, all right. So other is Hive JDBC driver. All right, I think it should work fine. Okay. Oh, that's another important point. Thank you, Anand. Yeah. So, whatever your Microsoft Excel is, you should go with that. So, at what step did you get stuck, Anand? So, see, I'm not downloading Hottenworks driver because I don't have a Windows right now to do the demo. But you can go ahead and start working with that. In case you get stuck, then let me know. All right. So, I think there is a problem. Mm, yeah. So they do have a Hottenworks driver for Mac as well as Linux, but I don't have the Microsoft Word for Windows Mac. So there, not this one here. Have they removed it? You're not able to open it. This URL is not working for you. Yeah. So just like you have ISO in Windows, here it's DMG. So here under after you mount it, you will see the PKG and you run the PKG. I'm just assuming. Uh-oh. So Santana, you go into the settings, and after you go into the settings, you go into there is a feature called security and privacy, and there you can say allow apps downloaded from anywhere. Okay, you have to unlock it and then you can say that. So Sergio, are you able to install that for Windows? Actually, these. Okay, so everybody is on Mac. Okay. So what is the problem, Anand, are you facing? The final step of this document, this guide. Okay, never mind actually. Uh, Now once this data is done, you can try to connect from your any of the client. Okay, you can actually try to connect from any of the client. Okay, so hive underscore jdbc.jar should be somewhere. Let me find out where is the user bin hive. It's there actually. You can use this JDBC. Okay. So yeah. So wherever if you are trying to connect, yeah. Next is if you can see in the same document. So I think Santana is done with installing that driver. So next, they have there is. Are you able to test it? There is a way to Hortonworks Hive ODBC driver DSNS setup. Oh, but you are on Mac, right? I think it does not make much sense right now to try it out because I myself have not been able to successfully run it on the Mac. Okay, most of these tutorials are designed for Microsoft One. So see if you can to connect to Hive using any of the existing report designers after adding a JDBC one. Okay, so JDBC driver is available here in the folder. In this folder, you can say select ls-l grab. Now it's saying something. I don't know. JDBC. So here, this particular driver you can download from this server and start using in your any of the client. Okay, so now how do we go forward? Almost all of you are from Windows background, so you can try it in your time with your any of the existing solution you use. When you are providing the server name, the URL you would be providing would be the JDBC URL would be something of this sort. The URL would look like JDBC and Hadoop1 dot nobigdata.com/ your database. Okay. Port is good. Here you can mention the port also. You can say 10,000 should be the port. Let's see if 10,000 is working or not. Telnet, localhost. Yeah, it's working. Right. So you can connect to the here and user is student and password is you all know that. Okay. So try to use any of have you guys used any of the report designer or any of the bird report or anything so far? No? So you can basically create the same kind of reports using any tool, not only this Microsoft Excel. Okay. So from here onwards, you can try with any other tool than this one. the Microsoft Excel one. And in case you get stuck, just let me know. Or I'll also have to do a bit of research on how I make a demo on Mac. Right now, I myself am not able to run this driver on the Mac. Okay, maybe I'll install some other Tableau or something on this machine and we'll be able to give a demo. Okay, so you guys also try out some other viewer instead of Microsoft Excel and let me know, right? Because our stuff is fairly straightforward from here onwards. All we need to do is either I would install something called BERT. Okay, so BERT is a good tool for representation of any data. So we can just download BERT and then connect it to Hadoop one and then start using it. Okay, I'll try to build the demo with BERT, and in case I'm successful, I'll let you know. Right? Okay, so that was one. Right. Now the next question was, so you will take it forward from here onwards? You will try to take it forward? Chantana? Sergio? Fang? Great. So actually you could do a couple of things. One change was I was suggesting to it that you could change the strategy. Second is that you can change the year and you can also change the movie which we are talking. Explain in brief the remaining snapshot of the windows we have. Yeah, so here the one which we have here. So, okay. Here basically we are trying to, okay, so yeah, where is the data? So yeah, yes. So let's say that I'm here now. You had some question, Anand? Okay, so you can go up to loading the GZ file using JSON loader. Okay, okay. Oh, you are trying to do with big and you were able to reach to that level. Good, good. So that is an important step. And if that is working for you, then you have actually reached the first milestone. Good. Okay, so let me now go through the screenshots. So here all we are trying to do is, so out of these tables we have selected only one table. Okay, and then we have selected these four columns and inserted it. Next, what we have done is this is basically that BI tweets BI table. We have brought it here. It has ID, timestamp, country, and the sentiment. And we can, okay, you can just visualize the same sentiment data using various kinds of views. One is Power Viewer, which is basically charts. Okay, and then the same data where we have told that do the country column we have mentioned here. So location column we have selected as country, and the size is the summation of the sentiment. Okay, you can see that in this diagram here. Good, good. So Sarju's stuff is done. All right. So we have plotted on this map where the size of the circle is the function of the sentiment. All right. And you can also say put color over here in, okay, for each geographies. If you want to present as pie chart, then you can also do that. And then so the rest are just features of this Power Viewer where it's trying to show that you can zoom in, zoom out, and all. Okay. So basically, it's representation of the sentiment over the timeline for the whole year or for whole month. It has summed up and then represented it here. All right. Good. Great. So yeah. All right. So I think a better idea would be we take the BERT. I am quite comfortable with BERT, and we present the data using BERT. That will be easier for us. And I think BERT has map. Have you guys used, any of you used any reporting tool so far? No? Crystal reports or Crystal reports or any of the cool tool. So basically you connect your this tool to database, and once you are connected with the database, all you do is drag and drop the data onto the chart and try to present the data by the way of various kinds of visualizations. Okay. And in that, BERT is sort of a leader with respect to open source. Okay. So BERT has, yeah, with BERT you can do a lot of stuff. BERT has something called, the way you have JDBC drivers, similarly you can write your own code quickly in JavaScript and load any data possible as the data set. Okay. You can write a small. Yeah, I think you can do that. You just have to create something called uh, tab separated file input format or something of that sort. You can actually load directly from there. There are many input formats. Okay, but these things are as good as because they will be running all on database, so they won't be distributed. And okay, you can try that. Uh, and a lot of people actually use BERT, right? So I'll actually try to do that with BERT. I'm trying to see if BERT map view. Okay, so there are many ways to actually do it in. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. All right, so that sort of completes our sentiment analysis discussion. And in case you are more inclined, you can have you because this whole sentiment analysis is actually quite evolving thing. It's quite evolving. Every now and then you have new techniques being published by various people. So there is a sentiment analysis using natural language processing, sentiment analysis using deep learning, which is neural network way of learning, then your normal statistics way of machine learning, where you basically prepare a 2D matrix out of your data, where on x-axis there are full dictionary words, on y-axis is each tweet, and after you have done that, you pass it to the machine learning tool, and then it gives you a suggestion that this might be a positive or negative. Okay, so there are lots of work that has gone into it, and you can basically try to go through this paper. It goes through almost all kinds of approaches and focuses on the one which is based on machine learning. Okay, now yeah, so the next thing which we had decided to discuss was the interview questions, right? So interview questions was somebody's suggestion. So this is where I would need a little help. Now, the way I conduct the interviews with respect to big data, and I've seen people asking questions. So I generally start with a very, very simple problem of say prepare the basically summation of salaries over a department, over each department. This is how I start my interview generally. After so almost all the interviews which I've taken, I start with a simple introduction, where the normal ones, and after understanding the background, I generally do not care much about experience into big data, because uh, when I was helping some people hire, and we put this criteria that we should have these many years of experience in big data, we could not close the position. All right. So afterwards we stopped looking for people who are already experienced in Hadoop. Instead, what we started looking for somebody who has some know-how, and somebody who is good at understanding of the normal concepts. Okay. So after the general introduction, we go through what they have done. And so we go through what they generally have done. And the if they have not done that something considerable, then that's a totally different issue. Otherwise, what we do is we pick up a project and increase the data size. Okay, that imagine that what the same thing what you are doing here, we have to do it over say 10,000 times data or a million times data. What are the things you're going to do? Okay, all right, and then see the approach. So basically, here what we look forward to is the person able to zero down onto that we can divide it amongst multiple computers and all of that, and then we go ahead. In case somebody is experienced, then we go into a little bit more detailed into how does I mean all those general questions about say asking people to actually this will be too insufficient. There are so many questions actually. So then we go into if somebody is experienced, then we already experienced in Hadoop, then we talk about more details about about internals. The quiz we have, if you have gone through the quiz, in case of MapReduce and Hive and Pig, that should be sufficient for you. Okay, so that should be sufficient for you if somebody is a little bit experienced. And what else can I talk about? Right. So do you have any particular question, Anand? Okay. So yeah, then then the subject, if you have shown that you already have experience, you have learned, so the other person might want to understand more on the conceptual level. And occasionally just to check whether you have run and you have done anything at all, y- people might ask you very specific question that if you run Hadoop command on a folder which already exists, what will happen? Will it overwrite or give an error? Right? So if you have just used it once or have seen somebody using it, you will quickly say that it will give an error. Okay. So those kind of quick question also people ask, but concept oriented questions are more valued. Okay. Preferred over library functions. Okay. Okay, so people may not be going into say what are the various functions available as part of pig library, math library, or what are the various detailed functions available as part of Hive, but they will be more interested in understanding that they will ask you the questions like, when Hive is just SQL, why don't we normally connect our JDBC to HDFS and start using it? Okay, so okay, so how and where do we look as big data implementations by company like Facebook and LinkedIn? So generally they don't publish, but sometimes they do publish their papers, okay, on their blog and on their, you know, basically they generally keep on publishing on their blog or maybe their Facebook pages, okay, or their Twitter handles. So recently, for example, Google had published a report on how they utilized big data on for medical for for investigation of the disease. Okay, so these companies keep on publishing their report now and then, that how did they do this, how did they do that, using their solutions, and you will be able to correlate from that data. Okay, and we also on our Facebook page we also keep on publishing various kinds of reports. You can have a look at that. All right, so yeah, anything else we want to discuss now? Yeah, all right. So we first talked about HDFS, which was, you can say, Hadoop, FS, and so on. Then we talked about MapReduce, that was Hadoop, jar, and so on. And then what did we talk about? After that, we talked about pig, that's a pig command line. And then we talked about hive, that's the same hive command line. Then we talked about hbase. The command line was hbase shell. All right. Then I think we talked about zookeeper. Okay, the command line was JK, zookeeper only, right? Zookeeper client, zookeeper client. Then we talked about scoop, and then flume, then mahat. What else did we talk about? We talked about spark. The command line was user lib spark bin PySpark. It was Flume agent, I think. Flume, what was that command line? I forgot. It's called Flume Flume. Mahat was Mahat only. What else do we have? What else did we talk about? Yeah, these are the things we talked about. So, do you have any doubts about anything here? Uzi, yeah. Thank you, Santana. All right. So, do you have any questions right now which we can discuss? All right. So, yeah, let's have a look at the dates here. So, the start date is the April 11, which is today. The end date of the session is today. And project will start today itself. You should finish all of it. Basically, the present you have already done by yourself. So, you are through 95%. Only 5% weightage I'm giving to the presentation of that thing using the graph and chart that you can pick up from anything, whether BERT or you want to probably you should try BERT also. That's good enough. Okay. And all the assignment please complete it by next Saturday. Okay. There are few people who had some emergencies, so they are not you know going for this. They will be submitting their assignments later, but for rest of you, please submit it on April 18. Okay. And next week, April 25, which is next to next Saturday, you submit all your project along everything, and then after that we will be giving you the certificate on May 02. Okay. So the once you are done with project results, you just send me the screenshots, and it's me as in Hadoop at no big data, and then we go through your results, and then if required, uh, we'll have a one-to-one session. We can have a look at your desktop in case required, and then that will conclude the project. All right. All right. So is that it, or you have something in mind? All right. So it was a great session, and so I'm going to unmute you one by one. So is it okay, Anand, that if I unmute you and for a minute? Okay. All right. So hi Anand, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Sandeep. How are you?
So hey Anand, it was
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Okay.
So it was nice session, and I enjoyed thoroughly your questions. Okay.
Thank you. And yeah, whatever. Yeah, I got in and out of whatever. Because anyway, when I started the session, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any idea what's big data. And though I have been working on different backend or mobile applications or all that stuff, but I was not much into big data.
Okay.
Now that I got a whole idea, and I'm planning. Hopefully, I'll be able to go through like all the stuff again, and then planning to attend some interviews and see how
Okay.
it goes.
Great. Great. Stay in touch. Stay in touch. And I mean, if you have any questions, just drop an email to Hadoop at No Big Data or Sandeep at No Big Data. Either way. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Anand, again. I'll mute you now.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank
Hi, Fang. Is it okay to unmute you for a minute and to say goodbye? Okay, I think she's not around. Fang is not around. So, Sergio, is it okay for you for me to unmute you and then? All right. So yeah, so you can.
Hey, Sandeep, so can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, Sandeep, thanks a lot for your kind help and giving us very nice presentation. So I really
Okay.
enjoyed learning Hadoop. And Hadoop actually, my passion is always to learn new technologies, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Hadoop is always my interest. But when I didn't have like a platform how I can learn Hadoop and do hands-on training. And now I have all
Mm-hmm.
sorts of knowledge and hands-on training on Hadoop. So I really enjoyed, and thanks a lot
Okay.
for your help. And yeah, I learned a lot from you. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Great, great. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that you learned. All right. Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to mute. Hi, Santana. Is it okay to unmute you? Hi, Santana. Yeah. Can.
Hi, Sandeep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So as everybody said, like I'm also like
Your
very
volume
interested in.
is very low. Either you move
Huh?
to near to the mic.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Is this audible now?
Better, better. Yeah.
Sorry. Actually, like, as everybody said, like I was also interested in learning Hadoop.
Okay.
So recently heard of that, and then we was searching for courses, and then I came across yours, and then like when we tried out, it was very good, and then the explanation and other stuff hands on, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
are showing online, it was really like we trying it out, like you are doing everything over there, and then it looks like we are really trying it out. So it was very nice and real good session. Thanks a lot, Sandeep. Yeah.
Okay.
But mostly in the client side. I didn't have any experience in the server side
Okay.
or backend, but
Okay.
this gave some good concepts. Yeah. Thanks, Sandeep.
Great, great. I'm very happy actually. Yeah. So yeah. So stay in touch. Connect to me on LinkedIn. And anyway, whatever opportunities come along the way from our knowledge partners, we will keep on sending to you. Also, keep on participating on the forum. Although we are upgrading the forum to a little more interactive one, and we are working on making it more, better notifications. Right now, it doesn't send proper notifications. So participate there. That will keep you up with the new technologies. And also you can go ahead and maybe if you guys are okay, so there are a few things I forgot to tell you. If you are trying to a little bit about the career building part, which I think most of us are obsolete. So first is the good part is maybe you should maintain a blog where you can keep on writing a little bit, finding here and there. Second is you should have a GitHub profile. Third is that you write a bit uh, on forums such as maybe Quora or Stack Overflow. Okay. And in case you are planning to planning for, yeah, yeah, LinkedIn also. Okay. In case you are planning for uh, 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 data sciences, you should go for Kaggle. All right. So Kaggle gives you a good competitions, and then you can try it out lots of things. And on LinkedIn, you should maintain a good profile. And in case you want, I can write your testimony that I have some plans. Okay. So yeah. So send me a LinkedIn request. You can see my profile probably. And yeah, this is the photo I have on the profile picture, so you can see. All right. So yeah, and also now that we LinkedIn has accepted our certificates, so people generally display the certificate on their profile. So I was seeing somebody's certificate recently. They are, say for example, this was one of my students. So the certificate is displayed on his page. You can see that. So it shows a proper certificate. Okay, so we'll send you that. And that's pretty much from my side. Okay, so thank you very much for being part of it. Feel free to refer to your friends or anybody. We have a 10% referral bonus as well as 10% discount. So if your friends are interested, let them connect them with us. Okay, and then if you connect with somebody, then we'll give him or her 10% discount, and you get a 10% refund as soon as they finish the project, finish the course. All right. Okay, so stay connected, and thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Yeah.